you a night owl? Then Late Night Love is a place for you. Since life is negative enough, here we discuss everything love. What we love, who we love, and why we love. So join us on Saturday nights at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and please remember, love everybody. And thank you for joining us on another Saturday evening of Late Night Love. I'm James. That's the lubby behind the desk over there.
Good evening.
And tonight we're going to talk about we got some relationship questions we're going to finish. But first we're going to talk about why do men find it so hard to love? But before...
To say I love you.
Okay, this is true. To say I love you. But before that, I was watching a YouTube commercial. Earlier today, I guess it was for an HBO comedy thing or something, but she was about a lady going around and she was telling comedy stories about her relationship, essentially with her relationship with her husband, who is Asperger's.
Okay.
And then it was humorous but informative at the same time. She was using humor to get people to understand about the differences between, which for us is relatable because, Mitch, my youngest son,
my nephew,
he's Asperger's. He's a little more higher on the autism scale than Asperger's, wouldn't he be?
I don't know.
I would think so, but I don't know. I don't know exactly where the heck Asperger's isn't even a thing anymore. Now they're just on the autism spectrum somewhere, which seems really strange to put kids like your nephew and my son in the same category, even though there's actually a fairly significant difference. Even though there also is not, there's a lot of similarities. So, I mean, it does make sense, but Asperger's is like the really light form of autism. And what she was saying is it takes a unique kind of love to get through that because autistic people or Asperger's people, they see the world differently. They don't understand the social cues. All those various little things that a lot of us pick up on, the Asperger's people don't pick up on. And it was just an interesting take on all the various types of love and the things that, we do. People do actually put up with is the wrong word, but things people actually do accept as part of life for this thing we call love.
Yeah,
it's a strange, life is a a difficult trip, but when you can find someone who makes your journey better, hold on to that person, and we call that love. Okay, so now the other question we had today was, why do men find it so difficult to say I love you?
Yes.
Well, I don't think it's for any of the reasons people actually think.
Okay.
It's not that we can't say I love you. It's not that we're embarrassed about loving you. It's that for us, men do things. We don't say things.
Yes.
And so I've done all this stuff. Why do I need to? Can't you see that I love you? But it's that way. Men and women are just so vastly different in terms of how they view and approach the world, in a sense.
Yes.
I mean, in the grand scheme, it's not that big of a difference. But in the micro level, when it comes to personal relationships, those differences become easily seeable. In mass, when you look at the difference between men and women in mass, the generic man and the generic women, there's not that many differences. It's not until you dive down to the little details of how people operate, how they get through lives, that there's differences. And some of those differences are obvious simply because we're literally biologically different, and those differences
literally
and those differences are going to have an impact on on how you view the world. It just is. You know, if you're a hammer, you're going to view the world a different way than if you're a nail. And there's no way, right? Your whole
Right.
task at life, your whole motivation for existing is different. If your motivation for existing is to go around and pound things, then you go around and pound things. If your motivation for existing is to keep something together and you stand still, like then you keep something together and stand still. It's and so you know natural motivation and all that. But then we're getting into deep biology. But I don't think a lot of people think it's culture, and I don't. It's, culture reflects humanity, not the other way around. It takes a long time to change humanity. It takes a short period of time to change culture.
It
And
takes
so-
eons to change mankind.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It takes generations,
Yes.
and you can lose it, and you can lose those changes in a snap if you stop teaching and moving forward. Because we do it through education. We don't do it through evolution because evolution takes too dang long. I mean, once humanity learned how to write and keep records of things, our advancement accelerated exponentially. I mean, it goes back even once we learned to carve stuff into rocks and keep records over time, because that's how you store knowledge. Knowledge was no longer just verbal. We all know how verbal knowledge goes, right? You tell one person, by the time it gets to the 10th person, you're telling them something different. And so,
Yes.
if you're telling someone some fundamental knowledge, it's going to get all screwed up, right? So you've got to write that crap down somewhere. And once we learn how to do that, civilization, humanity, we've accelerated. You know, the problem is we're still cavemen. Evolutionary, we're still cavemen. You know, we're barely outside the cave.
We're barely out of the cave.
And we've got nuclear weapons and electricity. We're going to other planets now, and you know, from a anthropological perspective, we're just out of the caves. We're barely out of the caves. We've barely learned how to control fire, and it all happened like that. In terms of in geologic time, it's just we as humans can't comprehend real time. I don't think time exists, but that's a whole nother discussion. But we can't comprehend how long that fractures of time, how long time really is. Now, what's that got to do with Ben not being able to answer, say I love you? Absolutely nothing. We went off the rails there.
Just a little, honey.
We went completely off the rails. Well, the point is, it's not a cultural thing because it's universal. It's kind of worldwide.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you go to any culture, and it's now some cultures are better at breaking that habit, but it's a general rule of thumb. Cultures throughout the world, you know, women say "I love you" more than men do, but men show it. Men don't say it; they show it. We're men of actions. We do things. We don't say things.
Right.
And so that's why when you say "why can't men," the generic men, it's because we show it, and we don't think about saying things that we've already shown. Well, we are. It's just right there. We just did it. It's right there. And
I just built you the thing.
What you want from me? I didn't even go home to the bar on the way home from work today. Come on. Yeah, I sat there through that whole opera thing with you for 3 hours and didn't even complain until we got in the car.
That would never happen with us.
No, I can't shut up. You can't take me nowhere.
That's the truth.
No, seriously, you can't take me nowhere. I wouldn't take me anywhere. Okay, yeah.
Do you want to move on to the thing?
Sure.
Okay, I have 11 relationship rules.
Oh yeah, we got to finish this rule thing.
Yeah, this is a part 2. Celebrate the special days. Birthdays and anniversaries may repeat itself too many times, but it's these milestones that create memories. I don't think that's celebrate, yes, but I don't. We don't do it normally.
No, well, again, it depends upon how your relationship works. We do that stuff every day. Our memories get made every day, but some people's lives are insanely busy, and so if your life is insanely busy, you've got and you maybe you need to make special considerations for these days. But you'd like to get to the point in your relationship where these special days are just days that you treat each other with so much love on every day of the week that essentially I can't give you any more on a day. It's not possible. I can't love you more on a day. I don't understand. Goes back to that Asperger's thing, maybe. I don't understand. I can't love you more on a Tuesday than I do on a Thursday. I don't get it. But so maybe it's something like that. But I don't know if you're so busy. But again, I think we are so different. We have to be very careful. There's so many people who like routine and who thrive on routine, and they thrive on these type of events. You guys want to have a birthday month. What are you guys talking about?
I have a birthday month.
Yeah, but only yourself. You're the only person that pays attention to your birthday month. You're right here. You're lucky if you get a birthday hour.
You treat me special on my birthday. What are you talking about?
I treat you special on every day.
Yes,
what are
you do.
talking
But
about?
I usually get flowers. I get a card on my birthday. Sometimes there's a present if there's something that you think of.
Well,
that
something
you
pops
think
up.
I might, yeah, but I mean, we don't.
Yeah, those are presents of opportunity. Those aren't as
present.
much.
Yes, we don't look for. Okay, what am I going to get him for his birthday? But that's just us.
Yeah, because I don't want nothing for my birthday. Because I get whatever I want throughout the year, so I don't need anything for my birthday. I don't want anything for my birthday.
You're just so practical, honey.
I just want, I don't know. Just another day. But most people aren't like me, and I do understand that. And so the advice is, should you celebrate it? I mean, you got to find out where your relationship works, and you've got to make sure that if someone has a special attachment for their birthday for whatever reason, and then you should honor that. But if you've gotten to the point in your relationship where Valentine's Day is just a day for us to spend money. Can we not do it? Then it's fine, right? Don't let somebody else's view of a day create your view of the day. If your relationship doesn't need to treat these days special, then don't. But if it does, if you're busy and you say, man, we've been busy these last 3 months, we're going to make this birthday really special. That's cool. That's a great thing to do. Right? I'm going to make her she's been working her butt off. I'm going to make her best birthday really special this year. That's a cool thing to do. That's a great thing to do. And so I'm not saying to poo-poo, don't do that kind of thing, but do it for the right reason, out of love, not out of obligation.
Gotcha. Right.
I think that's probably the better way to phrase that.
Okay, our next rule. Never intentionally try to make your partner feel bad or look bad. It'll leave a lasting scar that'll hurt the relationship. Why would you want to make your partner look bad or feel bad?
Well, you may actually, this is one of these things where I have to be careful with, because some of us like to be funny. And so if you're not thinking and you're just kind of reacting, especially a lot of people have a few drinks in them.
You've missed a couple of hits,
I throw so many.
couple of them. Well, you throw so many out there. Some of them are just going to land flat. Usually, it's not you're trying to make me feel bad. Usually, it's you're trying to add humor, but it's poor timing. You're too soon.
Well, and a lot of the times, the stuff that can go really off the wire, we do privately. So I don't do that actually out in public very much.
In public? Oh, heavens no.
No. So, but we also don't go places where, a lot of people go out, they have a couple drinks, the lips get loose, and, you're trying to be funny, and it can happen. Especially when you're younger and you haven't learned yet, you haven't learned the filters. You haven't gone through all these things. And so, us old people, we've gone through the things. I've had shoes thrown at me, I know. Not you. I've learned my lessons before I got to you, see? And so, but the point is, it's very easy to do. It's so that if the goal is to say, hey, think before you speak, yeah, it's a damn freaking good idea, because you don't want to make your partner to be less than they are. Now, there is a caveat to that. On occasion, a partner's head can get a little too big, and it is your obligation to pop that head.
I see.
And it's usually a man who's getting his, and usually the wife needs to come by and pop the thing. It's usually how it goes. But the head gets a little swell.
You're easy to deal with that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying there is a caveat, and it may go around. It just usually goes the way where the wife has to pop the man's ego, but on occasion,
you get up on your little high horse, and I have to come on and gently remind you that you're a fallible human being too.
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm a fallible human being. I like chicken. Foul. It's good. Chicken's good. We just had KFC the other day. It's not as good as it used to be, just to point out. Oh, well, of course, how do I know? Nothing tastes like it used to be. What the hell do I mean talking about? Never mind.
Okay. Next one.
Okay.
Learn to forgive without holding grudges. As hard as it may be, forgiveness is one of the qualities of true love that matters most in a relationship. Well, forgiveness, if I want forgiveness, I have to give it.
Well,
and you're just a person trying the best you can. You're not perfect.
Yeah, well, the hit in your heart only hurts you. So if you're going to hold grudges, then you're the one carrying that grudge around. You're the one lugging that rock around on your back the whole time, not the other person. Right? You're the one carrying. I said you're carrying a grudge. Well, that's actually a very good euphemism. You're carrying that sucker around with you. It's like luggage. Right? Like walking around with a bowling ball. Why would you want to walk around with a bowling ball all the time? I mean, even if you're a bowler, you just don't want to walk around with a bowling ball all the time. You don't take the bowling ball to the movies with you. Right? Why do you want to carry a grudge? Actually carry a grudge is a great euphemism, because why would you want to carry it? Right. Your trip through life should be as light as you can possibly make it, and a little bit of love and forgiveness. Because back to something we were talking about, you're just a freaking human too.
Yep.
You're sorry, but you got a few things that other people are going to have to forgive you for too.
Yep.
And so there's very few of us that can get through life without having issues.
Yes.
I happen to be lucky. I don't cause any waves at all. I'm just the most perfect human being ever on the planet Earth.
Oh, really?
No, I lied. See? Told you. Well, I don't know. Yeah, no. What was it?
What?
Learn to forget. Yeah.
Learn to forgive without holding grudges.
Yeah, well, there's a secret about learning to forgive other people. Before you can learn to forgive other people, you got to learn to forgive yourself. Because you are a fallible human being.
Excuse me.
And a lot of people will actually ask for forgiveness from other people before they've forgiven themselves, and that's why they hold grudges. Because they think everybody's like them. And so they haven't really forgiven me. And so I'm going to hold a grudge. It's projection. Well, not always, but you know what I mean. It's a sad thing. So stop it. Stop it. Those of you watching, stop. Forgive and love yourself. Okay.
Next rule, respect your partner wholeheartedly. Well, yes.
Well, yeah. Why are you your partner if you don't respect them?
Why are you with them? Yeah, if you don't respect them.
That's called a dysfunctional relationship right there. Now, don't get me wrong. I suppose there might be a period of time where you've lost respect. Someone has done something stupid and you're trying to work your relationship back. There can be some of that. But we're talking long-term type thing. And, you know, maybe someone did something stupid, drunk driving or something. You kind of lost respect for them for a little while as you build back up your relationship, something like that. So there. But again, those are situations that can cause a temporary lack of respect. But if you love somebody and you say, well, you're a stupid moron, but I love you, we're going to work our way through this, because you would do the same for me when I do something stupid.
Yes.
And, you know, and that's how relationships work. You know, I guess the whole goal is don't do something stupid. You know, but, you know, we're humans.
Just because you would make a mistake doesn't mean you're not a good person.
Yeah. Well, and again, we do end up, a lot of our mistakes are actually boiled up in our need to be socially accepted. A lot of people drink because they want to be socially accepted, and then they try to drive home. And so it's all about being socially accepted, and you make a stupid mistake because you want to be socially accepted. And you kind of learn that, you know, okay, that need for social acceptance can't override my need to be a responsible human being. And so you could actually probably chalk up well over half the DUIs to that. Because alcoholics don't get DUIs very often. They black out and kill themselves, but they don't actually get pulled over for drunk driving because they're professional drunk drivers. They know what they're doing. As I was listening to the talk show host I used to listen to years ago, he was an ex-highway patrolman. He said that the professional drunk drivers didn't scare him. He says they never hurt anybody. They could get home blacked out drunk. Says it was the people who went to a cocktail party, had 3 or 4 glasses of wine without, you know, they don't usually drink. They have a couple of glasses of wine. They think they're fine, but they're really not. And those are the people who are dangerous. He says those are the people who are genuinely dangerous. He says it's not really the alcoholics. He says we want to get the alcoholics off the streets. Don't get me wrong. He says, but those aren't. He says, but those aren't the people who drive the wrong way on the freeway. Those aren't the people who cause most of the damage. It's the people who have been to a party. They're not used to drinking. Had a few social drinks.
I can see it.
Yeah. Well, because the alcoholics, they go to their bar and they go home, and they know that white path home.
Well, to share some personal experience, I'm an alcoholic. I have not had a drink in 31 years. I was at the end of my drinking career. I was a blackout drinker, and I blackout drove once. I came to the next day. I was so scared. I never did it again. I never drove drunk again, ever. I fixed that problem. I went and got my booze and started drinking at home alone. And that was really the sleigh ride into hell for my alcoholic career. And I quit shortly thereafter.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, maybe that's you're scaring yourself is part of set you on the right path to get out of it.
It doesn't mean it was okay.
No, it doesn't mean it was okay. Of course not. But, one, it's 30 years ago now. We've all gone past. We've learned from it. You moved on. You became a better
Yes,
human
it's
being.
been 30 years, but it still gives me chills.
Yeah, I would. I would have no doubt about it. I mean, we did lots of things when we were 16, 17 years old. That was stupid.
There, but for the grace of God.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I quit drinking before I was old enough to drink. So I did all my stuff when I was really young and stupid. So, which I'm not sure is smarter or worse, to be honest. To just destroy your life right out the gate, or you get lucky and learn your lessons right out the gate. It's one of the two, man. It could have gone either way. I got lucky.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Lots of people don't. So I guess if there's a lesson in there, it's love yourself and don't do that. I think if we get down to why was I drinking or why were you drinking, why we're behaving like that, it's because we fundamentally didn't like.
I didn't like who I was.
There's part of ourselves we didn't like. I was an anxious. I had anxiety disorder, didn't understand it, and so I thought the whole world had the same reaction to the world that I did, and they just handled it better. And so I was trying to be what the rest of the world appeared to me to be, and. Right, and you don't love yourself very much when you're doing that.
Right.
And so, yeah. Eventually, I just learned I just didn't like it. I didn't like waking up with hangovers and puking, and I hate that stuff, so I stopped. I didn't have to get to the point where I had kind of reached bottom. I did get to the point where
that was your bottom.
No, my bottom was I woke up with a hangover one morning, and I decided to. And the thought was, that it was a serious thought, was to cure it with some of that with that bottle of vodka that was sitting next to the bed. I said, "Hey, that'll fix my hangover." You're a freaking moron.
You had a moment of clarity.
I said, that's stupid. And I did. I stopped drinking for a long. I mean, I've had a few beers or something from there. I had a couple of drinks at Hawaii.
In Hawaii,
because I'm not the alcoholic, but I just don't.
You don't drink.
But I just don't drink
at all. Years. You don't drink for years at a time.
Yeah, I just don't have the need. It's I might have a couple of beers that are, for camping or something, around a campfire, or if I went and saw my friend at the guy on the internet known for a decade. And we were at the military bar
in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Well, hell, I'm at the beach in Hawaii. I can have a drink. I'm like somebody else. I'm not the alcoholic. I just stopped drinking. Now I didn't have to put up with me after what 2 hurricanes or whatever the hell I had.
Stingers or something.
I don't know.
Oh my God, no! That was I made you to take me buffalo wings. You got to pay for that.
Yeah, well, what you gonna do? Oh, and by the way, while we're sitting here talking about it, if you would like to leave us a message, you can go to anchor.fm/late night love and leave us a voice message, and we can respond to it on the air. You can send us an email at love@latenightlove.us, and we can answer that way. Or you can send us a message on our Facebook page, and if I'm smart enough, we can pay attention to it, and we can give you a link and you can get on. You don't have to turn on your camera or give us your name or anything. But, there's if you catch us live at 11:30 on Saturday nights, you can actually contact us and have some interaction. We're actually getting to the point now where we can start doing that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get this.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we'd love to get some interactions with our growing audience. We're big in Ireland. Apparently, 20% of our audience is in Ireland.
It would be morning there when we're on, so they would listen to us in their morning.
Well, it's on a podcast, so who knows when.
Oh, that's right, podcast.
So it goes on. It goes up after this, but yeah, interesting. Okay.
Are you ready for our next relationship rule?
Okay, so all right, but we're at the midway point. So in the future, if we have any, we are going to start running Anchor FM ads or something to try
Yes,
and
we need to do that.
to try and make us a few pennies. So right now would be about where we place in some spots from our sponsors. Okay, now we can select that thing. I had to put a spot in where we could cut in for a sponsor to make it sound
Very
like we
good.
actually have a sponsor.
Very good. Okay, next relationship rule. Now we covered this in our daily dose, but we didn't cover it in a regular show. Understand that your partner can have crushes on others too. It's a difficult thought, but if you admire someone else, so can your partner.
Well, yeah, you can have a crush. It's whether you do anything about it. That's the.
You're just human. I mean, we get little crushes, infatuation,
Yes,
smitten. Someone strikes our fancy
I
in
just
one
say-
aspect, but that doesn't mean that they're you're going to do something about it. You just enjoy it and move on.
yeah, I'm just saying if you're gonna have a crush, make it someone unobtainable. So there's no problem. Don't make it with your secretary. Don't get a crush on your secretary or your boss. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or the stock boy or your pool boy. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Get a crush on, I don't know, Angelina Jolie or something. Someone that you have no absolute chance.
Sam Elliott.
There you go. Me, anybody with a backside. Angelina Jolie. No, J-Lo. What was the other one? Not the Kardashians. Those are phony backsides. Those aren't even real.
Oh, they have to be real backsides?
Butt implants do not work as a real butt. It's fake. Butt implants are worse than fake boobs. Because at least boobs, you can say, okay, maybe there was an issue, whatever. But a fake butt, please. Just accept the butt you were given. You could help some, but God, some of us have nice butts. We don't need to work on it. We shouldn't have our nature devalued because someone else can put in a piece of rubber. I don't know what the hell they use. Silicone. I don't know what the hell they use in those fake butts. I don't know.
That's a good question. What do they use in fake butt implants? I don't know.
Is that do you do that fat transfer stuff where they take fat from your belly and stick it into your butt and basically to sculpt your butt?
Okay, I'll have to look into that and I'll report back.
I don't really care that much. I'm just saying.
We kind of went off topic.
Yeah, I know, but we've got 30 minutes to kill. So.
Okay, here we go. Next rule: trust your partner and your instincts, even if others say otherwise. So who's talking smack?
Wait. Trust your partner.
And your instincts, even if others say otherwise. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I mean, what are we talking here? Are we talking about, is your mom talking to you? She's concerned about some behaviors, or is your best friend jealous of your time?
Yeah, or did her best friend walk up and say, hey, Sally's banging Bob, the pool boy, so you might want to. I don't know. What is it with me and banging Bob the pool boy today? The same time I mentioned a pool boy. I haven't seen any movies with pool boys in it.
Well, it's that time of year.
It's hot. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I'm just thinking of something cool when there's a pool, maybe.
Right.
I don't think of pool boys. Even when I had a pool as a kid, we never had someone take. Oh, I guess we did have someone to take care of it, but I never saw him. Anyway, it wasn't a boy; it was an old guy. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's that Family Feud. All the Family Feud answers we've been watching. See, it's your fault.
Yes, we watch Family Feud on Netflix, and there is a collection of Family Feud videos, and they are freaking funny.
Hey,
and we watch them, and we're old. We don't care.
Yeah, we're old, apparently. Hey, we actually have something. It's a thing from Red Green, speaking of.
You want to do the red green one?
No, we'll do it at the end. We'll have time.
Okay. No, okay, next relationship rule. Never grumble or badmouth each other, even if you're tempted to, out of anger and frustration. When do I get to vent?
Wait, what?
Never grumble or badmouth each other, even if you're tempted to, out of anger or frustration.
Well, that's stupid. You got to let that stuff out. Now, maybe don't grumble at each other,
No.
but, you know,
Best friend.
your sister, therapist.
Can you believe what that man did? Let me tell you.
What are you, a freaking robot or something? Who wrote this stuff? Some of this is just dumb. No, you've got to be able to complain. Now, you may not want to complain to your partner about some of these things, because if it's something that ultimately doesn't matter, that you're just gonna, it's not worthy of an argument. I'm just gonna grumble about it, feel better, and move on.
Yes, you just vent a little bit and then you move on.
Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not
that big a deal. But it's just a minor irritation.
It irritated me today. And it may not irritate you most days, just today it irritated me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like today it's irritated me. Tomorrow it won't, but today it did. And yeah, no, you don't want to bring that up to people. Jesus Christ, you want to be nice to your partner. That's what your sister, your best friend, your therapist, or your barber is for. It's not for. Talk to your pastor. I don't know. But you don't want to. But no, you don't want to do that to your. You don't want to nitpick your partner. But you do want to be able to vent. For God's sakes. No, I'm good.
Okay. Learn to spend quality time with each other. There's no better way to fall more in love with each other as the relationship grows. Well, of course you spend time together.
Well, I get, God, there's going to be so many of these answers where we end up going, it really depends on the nature of your personal relationship, because there's no vast.
Well, all the questions that we ask, all our responses are that way. They have to be. No relationships are vastly different. Of course, one size fits all answers. It's just not going to happen.
No, because again, what the hell was this question? All right, excuse me. See, this is why they need to be on the Trello so I can be able to see them. Anyway, learn to spend quality time with each other. There's no better way to fall more in love as the relationship grows. Well, yes, we've had this discussion about how relationships either grow together or you grow apart. But I don't know, quality time, I guess. There's nothing wrong with the statement. It's just, I suppose it's kind of meaningless.
And what is this? Learn to spend quality time. Don't you want to spend quality time?
Well, again, sometimes in relationships, there may come periods of time where you may actually have to learn to kind of enjoy to do something. You know, if you want to spend some time together, you may have to learn to go camping. You know, to spend some time, you may have to learn to unplug. Maybe someone's a high-powered executive and they have to learn how to unplug. You have to learn how to turn their freaking cell phone all the way off, put it in a drawer, in a safe someplace, right? You don't know. I mean, I can come up with a handful of scenarios where someone actually has to learn how to do something different.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, because go back to the beginning of the show, we're talking about Asperger's syndrome. You're going to have to learn. If you don't, both sides are going to have to learn how to interact to grow successfully in love.
Yes.
Because, the social cues that they pick up on are different. And so you're going to have to, learn each other, and then you're going to have to learn how to move forward. He had, like someone with Asperger's is going to have to learn that even though I can't see why these things are connected, I have to learn that they are, and I have to learn how to navigate that. Right? I can't wrap my head around why they are, but they are. And so that's hard for them. Right? But I don't understand. But that's just the way it is. But I don't understand. So you're never going to understand. So you just have to accept it's the way it is. That's the way it is. And it works the same way going the other side.
Other way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
never going to actually understand. So what you're going to have to understand is that, you know, he's going to try to give you what you need. And he did well. It's just he has to learn how to do it almost mechanically. And a lot of people don't like that, but he's learning how to do it mechanically. But you don't understand. He's learning how to do it.
Do it.
That's the part that's the love. That's so unnatural for them, right? And so
we go back to this, you know, showing love by doing.
Yeah. And so sometimes we have to take a step back in order to see genuine, true love. We get so caught up in what's in front of our face, what's so close to us, the immediate, that sometimes we have to take a step back, which is what we like to do. Is we like to take back and say, okay, so where did we come from, and where are we here now? Oh wow, that's kind of a long way. You know, the last 6 months doesn't matter, right? The last few weeks, whatever troubles someone may be going through or something. Oh, it's fine.
We'll weather through it. It'll be all right.
It's fine. Oh, this ain't nothing. You know, no, it's not even a speed bump in the grand scheme of things. I'm going back to sleep. You know, you get that kind of thing, and so perspective is important. And you know, young people in young relationships, they lack that perspective, and so it's very hard. That's actually one of the most hard things, is because they don't have that track record of success, that track record of getting through it to kind of lean on in those rough times. And so those first few rough times, that's where your love is tested and made. That's where it's solidified in the fire. And those habits you build then are going to be the habits you use the rest of your relationships to get them right, or try to get them right. You're never going to get them right, but the effort to try is actually the pattern you want to build in. The effort to try to get them right is what's more important than the actual getting it right, because you're going to habitualize the effort to get it right, which means you're willing to change. So what else we got?
Behave like children now and then. A few pillow fights or cute wrestles can never hurt anyone, but it can help both of you enjoy the relationship.
Well, they've never met my knees. A few wrestles can never hurt anyone. I'll be broken if I try to do. But I'm also a child most of the time, so I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, you're habitually 3 o'clock in the morning. Your 12-year-old self comes out and just starts having a field day.
No, my 12-year-old self is out all the time. It's just nothing restrains it at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's all that is. At 3 o'clock in the morning, the rest of me is, I'm too old and tired. This little thing can just run off this thing. The only person who has to put up with it is you. So.
Are you kidding? It was 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and you came up with something. I said something, and I don't
remember. It's 4 in the morning. I'm not paying attention to what I'm saying.
You respond. It was funny, but the thing is that amazing that you're so freaking quick.
Yeah, but I don't have no idea what we were talking. I don't have no idea.
I forget, but it was a.
Of course, it's
never
4 in the morning.
But it cracked me up. God, I laughed.
It's 4 in the morning. No one remembers what the hell you do at 4 in the morning. I sure don't. That's right where I go to bed. I don't know. That's right before bed. That's, you know, we're going to bed at 4 a.m. We're not getting up at 4 a.m. That's why we do a thing called late night love, because, yeah, we go to bed at 4 a.m. That's why we do this.
That's
now.
why this is our time. This is our finest hour.
That's kind of sad, but it is our finest hour. Okay, then. We're not sure about this. All right, so let's get back to the content of the show before we sit there and talk ourselves.
Next rule, be spontaneous with your affection. Don't always wait for special occasions or moments to express your love. Spontaneous surprises are always happier than planned surprises. Well, there's a couple of different things in there. Surprises And then there's affection. I'm a very affectionate person. I show affect. I always touch people, even friends. I touch the upper arm. That's known. It's people are. It's non-invasive,
Yeah, but you're
and
Dutch.
I touch a lot.
No, but you're the Dutch.
I'm what?
You're Dutch, right? It's
I'm Danish.
Danish, but yeah, it's that
Dutch.
Dutch, Danish. They're all kind of up in that same area.
Excuse me.
Oh my God! No, I'm never.
I am Danish.
I'm never gonna live this down. I apologize.
We are extremely unique,
Yes, this is true.
and stellar in every way.
I just got my D's mixed up, man. It's all good.
Yes, but I don't know if it's cultural, but my mother was very affectionate.
Yeah, I think the Danish culture are
as a culture, they seem to be pretty touchy. I visited there twice as a child, and it seemed very normal to me. So, and I always grew up with a lot of affection. So, yes, they were affectionate because that was the norm for me. It didn't stand out that I would have remembered if people felt, standoffish or something like that. I would have remembered.
Yeah, well, some cultures, they're not, like the Italians are very touchy.
Uh-huh.
Right, but like the French aren't, and the Portuguese aren't. They're not very touchy-feely, if memory serves. And I could be wrong. And if I am, send me letters. We'll love to hear from you. Love that love.us. Put the title of "You Lumbering Idiot," and we'll, and we'll answer them next week. We'll allow you guys. We'll let you guys laugh at me because I'm sure I'm screwing it up. But you know what I mean. Different cultures. Americans have this. We're weird. Like the South is very kind of touchy-feely, but kind of the West Coast and the Northwest, they're not all that friendly. In terms of, we're not very touchy-feely out here in California.
Very friendly.
Well, yeah, we smile a lot. When we say how we're doing and we care, but we're not very touchy-feely friendly. We're actually not that friendly out here in California. Well, it's all kind of superficial. It's all customer service friendly. It's all the fake plastic smiles.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't know. But of course, I'm getting. Yeah, I've been playing in politics too long. Okay, what we got next?
My last one.
But wait, actually, But I actually do agree with this.
Okay, that's spontaneous with your affections.
You have to start putting these in the questions on the thing. Do some work.
In surprises, you're always coming up with little things for me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why we don't do special days, because we do it all the time. That's why we don't make a big deal out of birthdays and Valentine's Day and those kinds of things, because we do this all the time.
You do. If you're out and about and you see something I might like, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I actually do agree. You do want to pay attention. You want to. It's like a garden, man. You want to tend to your garden. You got to tend to your thing. You got to pull the weeds every now. I'm a terrible gardener, but I'm good with relationships. But you've got to tend to it. If yeah, okay, it can grow. Sometimes if you need to go away for a vacation and you need to go for a month or so, it can run on automatic for a little while. But when you get back, you got to take care of it. You can't just leave it alone. It becomes overgrown with weeds, and the wrong balance becomes off.
You can't leave a garden for a month, darling.
Sure you can. I mean, if you got like automatic water sprinklers or something, you can.
Oh, are you talking about a lawn, or are you talking about a vegetable garden?
But it depends on the time. You can leave a garden for a month. And I'm not saying it would be in great shape when you got back, but it wouldn't be freaking dead and overgrown in a month. And you could, you'd have to come back and you'd have work to do. But it would still be there. It wouldn't be destroyed. Not in a month. Now, 3 months it would. Yeah, unless you got rabbits or moles or something. But, can be like Elmer Fudd out there then. But speaking of Elmer Fudd, they took away his gun.
They took away Elmer Fudd's gun.
Yeah, I loved Elmer Fudd,
Uh-huh.
but they took away his gun because it's, I don't know, not politically correct or something. Not that's got anything to do with us
Well,
late at
what's
night, but
he gonna? How's he supposed to hunt the wascally rabbit?
I don't know, ropes. But isn't that? See, I just don't know how it. Anyway,
I don't understand. Okay.
I don't understand either. But they've ruined everything else. So what the hell not?
This is my last rule,
No.
which is the best one. Whatever works! Exclamation point. No relationship is alike. Instead of learning from someone else's relationship, learn from your own relationships, successes and failures. I think you can learn from other people's mistakes.
But you got to
But
play this in context of yours.
but it doesn't mean that yours is going to play out exactly.
Yeah, it's learning the right lessons is always the trick about learning lessons from other people's mistakes. It's learning the right lessons.
The right lessons,
Yeah, that's always the rub. It's like you need to learn lessons from history. Yeah, but you need to learn the right lessons from history, right? If you learn the wrong lessons from history, it doesn't really help you much because then you've got the wrong lessons. What the hell good does that do? If all you've got is the wrong lessons, it's like never have a land war in Asia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but why?
But why?
Yeah, the question isn't never have a land war in Asia. Okay, great, but why?
Your supply lines.
It's one. You know how many people are in Asia?
Well, that's two.
A lot of people, and it's just a mess. And I mean, just don't do it. It's also why you never invade Russia in winter.
Oh, well, that just seems on its face. You should know why, because it's a Russian winter. That's why.
Yeah, but that means you have to be done by late summer because Russian winters come fast. Which is why no one ever ultimately defeats Russia. They just back up until winter comes, and then because they know how to fight in winter and nobody else can. And so, yeah, Russian winters, best defense. Same thing with Canada, essentially.
Well, we won't invade Canada then.
No, we just buy Canada. We don't need to invade Canada. We just buy it. There's no. We're just gonna buy you guys. All right. So
you had a red-green question.
Yeah, we watch a show, Red Green. Oh God, he's been off the air for what 10, 15 years now. But he did 300 shows in the around.
There are 300 shows on YouTube.
Yeah, but they were from the late 90s, early 2000s, that time frame.
Yes.
But it's a Canadian sketch comedy, public access sketch comedy, which makes it even better. The CBC. So he does these little things where he, gives advice to essentially as male viewers. And so I guess the question we brought out of one: are there times where you shouldn't share your feelings
with your partner?
And what was it? He said, there are things you'd like to tell your wife about what she does.
No way.
Yeah. You'd like to tell her. But before you say anything, put a break on that. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes there may not be, maybe time to shut up. Discretion is the better part of valor. That type of thing, I guess. Right? Well, I think what his point is there's no reason to deliberately cause waves. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier is, the question about don't generate, no. Don't criticize you
Criticize your positive criticism
or
was
negative criticism.
negative criticism.
Yeah, you want to be very
Make your
careful.
partner. No, you don't want to make your partner feel bad.
Yeah, no. Now, Red Green's thing was because you want to be careful, because if you start criticizing your spouse, then she's open to start criticizing you, and you're not strong enough for that. No, that's just funny because it's true, but yeah, because we're a bunch of wimps. Let's be honest. We don't like confrontation. We don't like the people we love not loving us, and so we're trying to avoid that. I swear to God, half the stupid stuff.
Women don't either.
No, but half the stuff we do to keep you from knowing something stupid we've done, so that you don't think less of us. Half the times we end up doing something stupid, it makes it even dumber. We do, because we're dumb. You've watched Red Green? That is far too real of television to be television. It is far too real. And you still don't believe me.
No, it's a show.
No, the Red Green is a show, but no, men are that. We are that simple. We are that basic. We really don't.
No, you're still 12 years old. You'll cover up a mistake with something huge and elaborate just so you won't get in trouble, or just so you won't be thought less of.
Yes,
or
because
something.
we don't want the people who love us to think less of us. Because we're all 12 years old who thinks that, we're going to get left at the side of the road.
Oh.
Well, remember, boys are disposable. For our society, young men are disposable. There's an interesting thing about it. We're talking about here at the end of the show, kind of a bummer. But the people who are worth the less are young men and old women, and people who society values the most are young women and old men.
Interesting.
So young women have all the value in the planet, right? Society will throw all kinds of resources at young women. We will. We don't care about you when you're old.
Thanks.
Well, you know what I mean, society-wise. But
yes.
Yeah. And young men, society will throw their young men literally in front of a machine gun. Go charge that hill. They'll tell their young men to go charge that hill. They don't care. They'll tell their young men, they'll tell their sons to go charge that hill. But they'll protect their old men, sitting back home, nice and comfy, running their factories, making sure that all the bullets are in place. Because old men have skills. Young women can make babies. And so therefore, society-wise, this goes again back to we're still fundamentally cave people. Yeah. Old men have knowledge and skills and are needed to preserve the long-term knowledge of society, and young women can reproduce. Everybody else in between is disposable.
Well, that is a little dark.
Well, it's historically. The nice thing about it is that in today's society, at least in Western civilization and becoming more and more growing around the world, is that individual human life is becoming more and more valuable.
Yes.
The average person is becoming more and more valuable as the need for reproduction is no longer necessary. That instinctive need, right? Humanity has always been kind of on the edge of extinction. And so now that we get to have there's 7 billion of us, right? There's under no threat of extinction.
So do you think that subconsciously we have relaxed in that area?
Not subconsciously, socially, culturally. We
have. Okay.
Yeah. Individually, we still have that same drive is in all of us, but there's less of a need. No one had decides, not nobody, but the desire to need to have 8 kids no longer exists. Right? Because it used to be only 2 of them would survive, so you have 8. Right? So you get 2 that would survive. Well, now if you have 2 kids, that's a pretty good chance both of them are going to survive into adulthood.
Yes.
And so you don't need to have 8 anymore. And so that changes a whole hell of a lot about how you plan your life. You don't have to plan for 8 or 10 kids anymore. You just get to plan for 1 or 2. And your life is much safer. Life is much more stable than it used to be. And that has a impact on society. But that impact is unknown. We're still kind of going through it. We're still working it out. We've never done this before. It wasn't all that long ago where relationships weren't based upon love. They were based upon, reality, functionality. Can you help me keep the farm and the house going and raise families and create a next generation? We'll grow to love each other. Right? It was you chose the best option you had available in the little town or little area you were in. And you grew to love each other. Now we can pick and choose from people around the world. Literally find whoever we want from around the world.
That's progress.
It's progress. We actually now have choice. We can choose to not have kids, and it's not a big deal to society at large. Society didn't care. Oh, you don't want kids? What do we care? There's plenty of kids.
Really, here, share some time with one that needs you.
Yeah. Oh, what? You don't think you'd be a good parent? Great. You're not, that's fine. You want to focus on other things? That's great. We got lots of people who want to be parents. It's fine. And so that pressure, removing that pressure from women and men, because, neither one of them have to. Now you get to choose to have your family. You get to make that choice. You don't have it thrust upon you by the love of humanity. It's just the love of you and your partner. But of course, we're still cavemen, and we still have that part of that desire in us. There's still that drive for that love of your fellow human. To still exist, and we're still working through it. That was clumsy. But hey, I never said I'm always eloquent. So we are done with this week's Late Night Love. You can catch us at anchor.fm, Late Night Love. You can catch our daily doses. We drop those about 11 o'clock, give or take.
Give or take.
11 o'clock every day except Saturday nights. We do those 6 days a week. You can catch us at our website, latenightlove.us. You can please send us an email at love@latenightlove.us, and we will be happy to talk about it on the air. And from all of us here, that's just habit, is TV show habit. From me and Lovey.
Keep doing that.
I know, there's 2 of us. Like there's a crew or something.
We have our support staff.
Well, we did. Michael made the graphic. My son Michael made the good graphic, for the back, so that was nice. But for me and Lovey, please take care of yourselves, and please remember to love everybody.